Welcome, guests. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Signature Chef's Auction. It's a night of giving. I am Angelique Peterson Mayberry, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Manufacturing Strategist at Ford Motor Company. But I'm also a super proud member of the March of Dimes Board of Directors. As we begin, let's start with a message from Stacy Stewart, President and CEO of March of Dimes.
Thank you. I want to thank all of you all for supporting March of Dimes. We set out to unite local communities to raise much needed funds so we can be there for every family through their pregnancies, from prenatal to postpartum. In order to continue this very important work, we must acknowledge the sad fact that the U.S. remains among the most dangerous developed nations in the world in which to give birth. And that's especially true for moms and babies of color. 2 babies die every single hour in this country. And every 12 hours, a woman dies from pregnancy-related causes. The maternal and infant health crisis that we face and that our families face in this country is further complicated by the health equity gap, where Black women today are 3 to 4 times more likely to die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth as compared to white women. March of Dimes is taking action to champion the health of every family. They need our help more than ever, with such important support from people like you. We're advocating to demand #blanket change for lawmakers to put moms and babies first, educating moms through our supportive pregnancy care program, offering knowledge and resources so more moms can have healthy, full-term pregnancies, particularly in underserved communities. And our NICU Family Support Program, which has supported more than 1 million families over the past 20 years, as well as the My NICU Baby app, provides parents with a baby in the NICU the information and comfort they so desperately need. We're grateful for your incredible generosity because together we can ensure that every single family gets the best possible start, now and for generations to come. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your event.
As you can see in that video, the March of Dimes is doing amazing work, but we still have work to do, and that work is why you're here tonight. We have to make an impact on every family needing our help, and to do that, we need your help. How can you help? I'm glad that you asked. There are a few different ways that you can help make that impact. You can donate by clicking on the donate button on the very top of your screen, or you can join in on the auction and place a bid. If you haven't already registered in the mobile bidding, don't worry. It's very quick and it's very easy, and you'll be able to see all of the items up for auction tonight. I know I'm looking forward to a few items in the auction that I'll be checking on throughout the night, including that much needed week in Florida. So don't delay. I'm sorry, I digress. Don't delay. Place your bid. The auction closes tonight at 10 p.m. So you better keep your eye on some of those favorite items. Now I'd like to introduce you to someone who has truly made an impact in the health of all moms and babies. Let's meet Kathy Donovan, Chief Executive Officer of Detroit Medical Center Children's Hospital of Michigan, right here in Detroit. Please help me welcome Kathy.
Thank you, Angelique, and thank you for allowing me to speak a few minutes about the importance of this event. Tonight we gather virtually, but our mission is still the same: supporting the March of Dimes to ensure we have healthy moms and strong babies across Michigan. I have been involved with the March of Dimes for more than 30 years, from interacting with them as a bedside nurse caring for extremely fragile babies to starting family support programs within the hospital. The March of Dimes mission completely aligns with the work we do here every single day at the Children's Hospital of Michigan. It is a partnership that reaches deep into the community we serve to care for our most important asset, our children. Every mom and baby across Michigan deserves high-quality care, emotional support, and access to needed resources. The March of Dimes ensures that this happens. Thank you for joining us this evening, and a special thanks to all the people who helped make this happen. I would be remiss not to mention our executive leadership team who worked tirelessly to pull this non-traditional event together. Great job, team. We know coming together virtually isn't the same, but with your help tonight, we can still have fun and raise money for the mission that remains critically important to all of our community. I encourage you to check out the great items that are part of the mobile auction this evening, or you can support via Fund the Mission. I am thrilled to share a new NICU Family Support Program coming to the Children's Hospital of Michigan. The NICU Family Support Program focuses on educating families and NICU team members so that working together they can create the best possible outcomes for our babies and our families. This wouldn't be possible without the support given to the March of Dimes by folks like you and incredible community partners like Total Healthcare. Now, for the real stars of the show, I would like to introduce the McClendon family to share their story of why this work matters so much. Benjamin, lovingly referred to as Big Ben, is a very special patient of the Children's Hospital of Michigan, and I am excited for you to become part of his journey.
Wow, where do I start? It was a beautiful day. It was in August. It was sunny out. My husband just gave me a nice pretty dress to wear. I was going to my routine appointment that happens every week until Benjamin was born. And I just remember just feeling good, and I was looking good, and I got to the doctor. I was excited because my blood pressure was good and everything was going well. But then my doctor came in and shared with me that it was time for me to go to the hospital because my baby's heartbeat has dropped. And out of all days, my husband he usually worked like an hour away. He was 5 minutes away. He was there to take me to the hospital, and I felt safe, and I was so happy that we've been on this journey together and that he would be able to see his son be born. That was special, no matter what was going on around us. Yes, it was COVID. We was taken care of, we was protecting ourselves, but to have my husband there was very special. And that day was just so perfect. For like a month or so, I wasn't able to hold our baby. We was only able to touch. But to know that we had to leave our baby boy there by himself, it was a very sad day. Benjamin actually went to Children's Hospital alone. And that just really, we didn't know what to do. But we had support, and that helped a whole lot, especially from the hospital and from our family, friends and family. We had faith over fear, and it was just amazing support we had in the hospital, and we really, really appreciate that. The day was a day that I will never forget. A day that started off a little rough, as in I couldn't find my keys, my cell phone was dead, and I was trying to get my 3-year-old prepared for the day for my mom to actually keep her while we're at work. And I just told myself, LaWanda, you have to stop and breathe, because you have to go see Benjamin, and you have to get that joy back into your heart before you get there. And to get that call was just, wow, I was speechless. I put the phone down for a while and cried, and then I prayed for the donor and the family of the donor. They decided to donate their baby's heart and for my child to live. The McClendons being a part of the March of Dimes as an ambassador, we want to let them know we are here for them. We want to let them know through our story, we hope that they rediscover the hope and the faith. And we're going to continue to participate in anything that the March of Dimes have. And we're so excited that they're going to actually be part of Children's DNC Hospital of Detroit. The education that the March of Dimes have about a baby being premature, what to look out for and when to call the doctor, I think that's amazing that they have that, that you can actually go to on their media platforms. And I think that's a wonderful way of providing services and resources when needed. We planted a rose, it's outside, and as the rose grow every year like they do and they get bigger, Benjamin is growing every shoot, every second. He's getting bigger, and so we're going to teach him that how to take care of the rose, like he has to take care of that gift that he received, and what he needs to do to keep the rose healthy, and how to keep himself healthy too. And that is always just give thanks and be grateful.
This is why we're here tonight. Families just like the McClendons. Their story and so many other countless stories are what drives the much needed work at March of Dimes. You know, I'm excited to be a part of the March of Dimes tonight and, every night, because I know that we are helping families right here in Michigan, and doing so with programs just like the NICU Family Support Program. Thank you, Kathy, and the entire executive leadership team who made tonight possible. And thank you to each of you watching at home. Okay, now I have to remind you about the auction and encourage you to take a moment to register and then bid. Remember, we have work to do and we need your help. Did you see the kids' sleepover by Sweet Mitten Dreams? Adorable. Or for my fellow Ford fans, did you see that you could have a piece of an actual Ford GT race car that raced in Daytona? How cool is that? I honestly think that there's something for everyone in the auction. And remember, it closes tonight at 10 p.m. Now I have to sneak away for just a moment from the auction and introduce you to my friend and fellow board member at the March of Dimes, Luann Thomas Ewald, Chief Operating Officer at the University of Michigan Health, C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, and co-chair of tonight's event.
Another thank you to the volunteers who made tonight possible. University of Michigan Health, C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital is proud to partner with the March of Dimes yet again to ensure that our mothers and babies have the best clinical outcomes and ongoing support. Our mission strategically aligned to emphasize the importance of advancing maternal and child health in our communities, and we couldn't think of a stronger partner. We are making an impact, and we thank each of you for logging in tonight, for hitting that Donate Now button, or trying to outbid your friends and fellow attendees in the auction. We hope you have a little fun with us this evening while supporting such a worthwhile cause. I'd like to continue our thanks right now by turning our attention to our sponsors. These leaders and companies throughout Michigan have said yes to supporting moms and babies. And when the event went virtual, they said, "That's okay. We don't need seats at the table. We will log in from home and happily continue our support of this critical mission." So tonight, let me thank our first sponsor, tonight's media partner, M1 Studios, that donated their time and talents to make our stories come to life beautifully. To our gold sponsors, the Detroit Medical Center Children's Hospital of Michigan, DTE Energy, Meyer, and the University of Michigan Health, C.S. Mott Children's Hospital, and Von Voigtlander Women's Hospital. Our silver sponsors, Arbor Investment Management, Gordon Food Service, Level 1 Bank, Magna International, MGM Grand Detroit, Priority Health, and United Healthcare. And finally, our bronze sponsors, Bank of Ann Arbor, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Bodman, the Children's Foundation, Dickinson Wright, Jones Day, and Western Mechanical. Thank you again for being committed to our moms and our babies in Michigan and joining us here this evening. And I have one more important thank you that's very important to me. Thank you to everyone working in healthcare today. These past 2 years have been unlike anything we have ever experienced. We know we are staying at home tonight to keep everyone safe, but so many of you in healthcare, our physicians, our nurses, our care teams, our security officers, our environmental service workers, and everyone providing healthcare, we know you've worked tirelessly for so many families. Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce one of those families to share their story. Please join me in welcoming the Boyajian family.
Eliana through IVF. I was pregnant with another baby and we lost him at 17 weeks and then we chose to do IVF again, and we found out we were pregnant on the exact day that we lost our first son. So In the beginning, we knew that she was just a miracle. The pregnancy went great until about maybe 21 weeks. I started having complications and I felt like something was off. So I went to see my OB and we found out that my cervix was widening and that I had to be hospitalized, and there was basically nothing that they could do. We went home and yeah, it was just really hard on both of us because we didn't want to lose another baby.
Everything went great until 22 weeks and 5 days, and then we started having contractions again. So we went to the hospital, and the hospital that we were going to, that they wouldn't intervene, so we headed over to University of Michigan. Eliana was born, and then
She was 1.5 pounds, and
11.6 inches.
yeah.
So one of the biggest milestones is that she started off doing really well, and then her lab started getting a little bit off, and her breathing started getting worse, and it was because her PDA was open, and so they decided to do surgery on her. The first time that they went in to go do surgery, they weren't successful because they couldn't even start the surgery because she was only 660 grams at that point, she was just a little bit too small. So then they waited a couple weeks and they did it again, and they were able to successfully close her PDA, which then allowed for her kidneys to start working properly, her blood to start flowing properly, and her oxygen level started doing a lot better. And then the next milestone after that was getting her off the ventilator. And then she went from ventilator to CPAP, and then she kind of kept on going back and forth between those two. And then eventually she was able to wean off completely into nasal cannula, and then, yeah, so. Within the hospital, there was a couple nurses that were just extremely, they were more than nurses, they became family. And I mean, they just sat down and explained things to us in layman terms, and just kind of assured us of, other things that other people have went through, and we're just also there emotionally and just kind of as friends. I mean, we spent a lot of time at the hospital and we got to know these people at a personal level.
Yeah, and I think just like empowering us to be parents, because it was kind of difficult for us because we didn't know how to be a parent to a baby that was in a box. We did a lot of kangaroo care, and that was kind of scary for us just to hold the little baby this size, and so yeah.
When we heard stories of what other people had went through, it just gave us hope and peace, and just made us feel part of a bigger community.
Don't give up. I mean, there's hope, and there's lots of resources and information out there that can provide you the help that you need, and that you're not alone.
Thank you, Boyajian family, for sharing your story and reminding us that we still have more work to do. How do we help families like this and ensure better birth outcomes? You know how we do that? We begin by investing tonight so we can put our mission into action. Today is Prematurity Awareness Day, and as proud as I am of the city that I call home, Detroit is the worst of all big cities for preterm birth, with 15.2% of the babies being born way too soon. I know I'm not okay with this, and you shouldn't be either. Whether you're a Detroiter or not, we're talking about moms and babies who need our help. That's why tonight is about giving. And I thank you because you've taken the first step by simply logging into our event. But we need you to go one step further. We need you to invest in March of Dimes today. You know, it's programs like the NICU Family Support Programs with training for healthcare providers and offering group support both post and pre-care. It's these type of programs that cannot happen without funding. So whether it's bidding on a hot item or simply making a donation to fund the work, all of that matters and it all counts. Okay. So I know that this is the Signature Chef's auction, and we have not even talked about the part that we're all missing the most. The incredible food. For more than 20 years, the restaurant industry has joined our fight for the health of all moms and all babies. As we continue to navigate these challenging times, we invite you to keep supporting the amazing work that they provide to our communities. Coop, Grey Ghost, Red Rock Downtown Barbecue, and Fire and Ice Catering have all donated one-of-a-kind auction packages to support our work. And while we don't get an opportunity to enjoy that amazing cuisine tonight, a few of you will have the chance to win these incredible experiences in the auction. So let's give all of our chefs a round of applause and a heartfelt thank you for their support. Food, auction, and families, that's what tonight's all about. Let's take a moment and hear from one final family. You know, imagine all the questions around pregnancy and giving birth coupled with the challenges of COVID. That's a reality for many families, including our McCloskey family.
My name is Jessica McCloskey, and
Matthew McCloskey.
and that's Jamie, and this is Morgan. We weren't really sure exactly when they would come because twins are always, a little difficult to tell exactly, but my water broke at 30 weeks and 2 days. So we went to the hospital and we were admitted, and there was talk that we'd be there for a month, and they just decided they were just going to come instead.
We were told to prepare in case they were here a little early, but we didn't know it'd be quite as early as it was.
They were born at 30 weeks and 4 days gestational age. Well, they both were on CPAP, then they moved to high flow oxygen, low flow oxygen, until they were able to breathe on their own.
The biggest challenge for the NICU is when it got towards the end, one of them came home. Jamie came home a few weeks before Morgan did, so we had one kid that was still there and one kid at home, and we were taking turns going up there to see him, and it was just really hard leaving him up there to come back home.
Because of COVID, we couldn't bring Jamie back into the NICU to come visit Morgan, so that definitely was really difficult for me, knowing that they weren't with each other for, it was about 20 days that they couldn't be together.
They were always their beds were right next to each other, within 5 feet of each other.
I think a lot of it was just kind of learning how to be first-time parents at home. We learned at the NICU how, being first-time parents involved a lot of things that we weren't really, prepared for. First-time parents usually aren't. I think having one at home and having to really work on being at home with one of them and kind of get our routine at home, but also working around Morgan's routine at the NICU. So one of us could be there for feeding in the morning, and then one of us could be there in the evening to give him a bottle. The one that I know I was super excited for was when they both got to have their IVs taken out. That meant that they could go on either side of their beds, and we got to sit in between their beds and have them next to each other again. So I think it was about 7 days that they weren't next to each other. They couldn't touch each other. They were in their own isolettes. And then once the IVs came out, we got to be next to each other and hold them both at the same time. That was really exciting for me.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest thing for me, was seeing her hold them both at the same time. Because for the longest time, they were next to each other. We couldn't hold them both at the same time, and it was just like, we want to do that. And finally we were able to, and it was very nice and rewarding.
And we used the March of Dimes My NICU Baby app, and I thought it was really cool to be able to put stickers about how old they were. They were 1 week old, 2 week old. There are stickers that you can put on your pictures when they were off of respiratory support, or when they had their first bottle, their first bath. And I know that was a really fun way to document their journey.
It was a very quick and scary experience for me, and the March of Dimes helped make it more comfortable and to help me feel more prepared when we were going through it. So the big thing for me is that other families don't feel as scared and can feel comforted and as prepared as possible when they're going through something similar. We've had nothing to complain about or be scared about since they've been home. They're really growing into their own people, which is really fun to see as they progress each day. It's like every day we wake up and we just feel like there's either more hair on their heads or they're making some other kind of movement that's new to us, and just the amount of change that they're going through is super exciting to see.
I got back into my work with the March of Dimes when they were in the NICU, and I was sitting next to their hospital beds, and I was just kind of thinking about things that I've done in the past with the March of Dimes, and I Googled just the March of Dimes, and March for Babies came up. It was February, so we had a few months until the March for Babies walk was going on. I had gone to one previously, and I was thinking, you know what, like, let's start a team. Let's see, how many of our friends and families can participate in this virtual walk. And we ended up making it to the Circle of Champions and raising over $1,000, which was super rewarding. And we went on a little walk as a family and got to celebrate our little miracles. Our team was called McCloskey Miracles. I have a big goal to bring a lot of this help from the March of Dimes and a lot of the support and advocacy to the Flint area. I know there's a lot of people that are involved in southeastern Michigan and around the Detroit area, so I think having a family up here in Flint is going to be rewarding to those families that we have around here. We're very excited to continue our team McCloskey's Miracles for the March for Babies walk in spring of 2022 and share the resources that we really needed as first-time parents. We really want to give a big thank you to the March of Dimes for allowing us to have our boys in our arms today and celebrate every little thing that they come across over this first year of their lives.
We would like to express a heartfelt thank you to the March of Dimes for the support that was provided to us during our experience. It really helped us bring our boys home safely and to be able to enjoy our lives going forward.
See, yet again, we see how critical the March of Dimes work is. The reach of impact on families is across the country, especially during COVID. As Kathy shared, this year, the March of Dimes is starting a new program at Children's Hospital of Michigan and also expanding the NICU Family Support Program in Grand Rapids to full-time. Special thanks to Total Health Care Foundation, Adient Foundation, the Jesse and Beavis families, Helen DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids, and individual donors just like so many of you. You made this possible. I'd also like to extend another heartfelt thank you to some additional individual donors and to Key Bank. With their efforts, we were able to implement our first 2 implicit bias trainings for maternal care providers at the Henry Ford Health Systems and St. Joseph Mercy Oakland. Currently, the need is greater than ever before for training like this, and we're excited that with your help, we've been able to implement these life-changing programs in our communities. So again, thank you. When you invest in an organization, you want to know that the work that they do is worthwhile. I hope that through the stories you've heard tonight, the messages from our leaders, and the mission work in our communities, that we have left you with an understanding of just how critically important the mission and the work of the March of Dimes truly is. Although we do indeed celebrate our successes and our work done thus far, honestly, our work is not done. 2 babies die each hour. 2 moms die each day, all in the U.S. This is unacceptable. But this we can change. We can change this with your investment. Let's show up for those who need us most. I'd like to offer a special thank you to some of our donors who have already invested today. Erica Ward Gerson. On behalf of Moms and Babies in Michigan, thank you for your $7,500 gift. Again, now is the time. Click the Donate Now button. We want you to give a gift that we hope is meaningful to you because, as you've seen and heard tonight, it's definitely meaningful to others. And remember, no gift is too small. Our goal tonight is to help the March of Dimes improve maternal and infant health and protect the health of families through research, programs, and advocacy. It's a movement, and here's your chance to be a part of that movement. Who wants to join the Duck and McKay families? Each of these families donated $5,000 to move this mission forward. And you also have the ability to join them tonight and donate as well. Simply click the Donate Now button at the top of the screen and fill out the donation information. Another thank you to Adrian and Margaret Vanderstar. The donation was $2,500. Thank you. When you click the Donate Now button, you'll see several levels there. All we ask is that you choose the level most meaningful to you. Did you know women of color are up to 50% more likely to give birth preterm, and their children can face a 130% higher infant death rate? Aspects such as discrimination, systemic racism, and imbalances in power, wealth, and healthcare shape the health of mom and babies. Your donations will help with the programs like the March of Dimes Implicit Bias Training that continue to move us forward toward health equity. We have more work to do. But wait. Let's do a roll call for anyone giving $1,000 tonight. The Jesse family, Dr. and Mrs. Weinberg, Lori Parmalee, Susan Johnson, wow, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you diving right in tonight at that $1,000 level. Wait a minute, now I see some coming in at $500. Thank you, Tammy Chakowski, Dr. Renee Gagliard, thank you so much. And thank you to our friends at ONW. Who else has hit that Donate Now button? Can I get 500? Can I get 500? Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Consider this a part of your year-end giving in honor of Prematurity Awareness Day. Remember, your donation will help fund critical programs to prepare women for childbirth and families to care for a newborn, all during the pandemic. Some of these families you met earlier today. Let's keep this generosity flowing at the $100 level of giving. Who can support the mission at the $100 level? Enter those donations right now. All right, I see you. Thank you. Keep clicking. We appreciate you. So we want to thank everyone for their generosity tonight. You all are simply incredible. It's because of you and your gifts that allow the ongoing success of March of Dimes to fight for every family. We can't thank you enough for coming together in this virtual way when moms and babies need us most. One last reminder, that online auction will only remain open until 10 p.m. tonight. So make sure that you get your highest bid in, as some of you try to get my Florida trip. March of Dimes staff will be in touch with each and every winner. So happy bidding. On behalf of the co-chairs, the executive leadership team, your March of Dimes staff and board of directors, and especially moms and babies throughout Michigan, thank you for joining us, and thank you for investing in the health of all moms and all babies.